This Icon podcast is hosted and sponsored by Sphere Rocket Virtual Assistants, a leading provider for your virtual assistants and outsourcing needs. Owned by one of the top-ranking EXP agents, Justin Nelson. Sphere Rocket VA provides a one-stop virtual staffing solution for business owners, and we specialize in helping business owners grow their business by leveraging through virtual assistants. Trusted by the top names in the real estate industry like Kyle Whistle, Andrew Franklin, John Kitchens, and many more. Get ready to up your success and we'll help you achieve your business goals. Book your free consultation at sphererocketva.com and find out how we can make your life easier.
Join me in welcoming Phillip to our latest episode of the Icon podcast. I'm your host, Gianna, and we are here to learn all about you today. So take us back to the beginning. Where are you from? What market are you in now? And how did you get into real estate?
Great. So I'm from a little town, Rocky Mount, North Carolina, which is about an hour from Raleigh, which is the market I'm in. I'm in the Raleigh, North Carolina market. I got in real estate in middle of 2018, and now it's 2022. So I've been in it. This is my 5th year coming into it. Kind of flew by quickly, actually.
In a good way or a bad way?
Good way. We've grown rapidly. Joined EXP in 2020.
Okay.
Icon twice so far. This is my 3rd year to hit Icon. So it shouldn't be an issue there. And have a team of 14 agents now. Started building my team last year. I had 3. Now I'm at 14. I've listed over 180 homes on the sales side. I've sold over 400 homes in 4 years. So yeah, it's been a whirlwind, to say the least.
Good. So did you start out with EXP, or did you make the switch during that? Can you kind of walk us through how the switch went for you? Because, obviously you're a high producing agent. Maybe you weren't at the time, but nonetheless, switching brokerages is not easy.
Yeah. Actually, so I started off with Keller Williams. I was KW agent. One of my friends got me in KW. He was KW. And I was there from 2018 to 2020. Great program. Learned a lot there. Saw EXP. One of my friends joined in 2019 from KW. And for a year, she kind of talked to me about it. She never pushed it on me, but she would talk to me about it. And I was kind of hesitant first. I was still drinking that KW Kool-Aid.
KW Kool-Aid.
And then I decided to have an interview with one of my mentors. Like what EXP had to offer. I really enjoyed the profit sharing, the rev share, the stock, the healthcare. But for me, it was really about the knowledge base. So, with EXP, a lot of it has to do with upline and downline and who's you're in and what a part. I'm in some pretty big agents, downlines or upline, I guess. Kyle Whistle's one of mine, Dan Beer, Tina Call. In my area, there's Tina Call, Sharon Evans, April Stevens, Marty Hampton. They're all top agents, like in the top 10 in my area. So I'm in their, upline, and they help me a lot. And my business has grown tremendously. My first year in real estate, I did 47 deals in about 6 months. My second year, I did about 61 deals. My 3rd year, I started my team and I did 81. Last year we did 106, but last year we really started focusing on coaching. So I do a lot of coaching, mentoring. We started focusing on the back end of stuff. So like we built our own intranet where we have how-to videos and how-to scripts. So anytime my agents need anything, they can go to these videos first, learn from the videos I've recorded, and then come to me if they have questions, because I'm still in production.
Sure.
On top of managing 14 agents, I'm still the listing agent on my team. So, I've been implementing a lot of things that I learned from Kyle Whistle, Dan Beer, Tina Call, Sharon Evans, April, all those people, about how to keep growing my team and maintain it all, because it's a lot of moving parts.
Yeah. So you really fell in love with, that collaboration, the opportunity to grow, to continue, really building on your brand and making sure your team is trained. Now, EXP comes with a lot of opportunity like stock share, revenue share. and masterminds, so much more.
Mm-hmm.
Now that you're over here, is there something else that you've fallen in love with, or is the collaboration and networking still kind of what keeps you at EXP?
I'd say honestly, the collaboration. I'm such a people person. I truly love the collaboration. I mean, because in real estate, we call it R&D, right? You repeat, you duplicate what other people are already successful at. Well, before EXP came around, all these big agents kind of kept everything to their chest. They didn't tell you their secrets. They didn't tell you. Now that we're all at EXP together, like everybody's helping everybody be more successful. And it's not like who you thought your competition was in the past is now you're equal.
Mm-hmm.
And so it's awesome to like do listing presentations with people that have been doing it 20 years. I mean, I've been very successful, but I'm a firm believer it's not man-made, right? Success comes from a lot of people helping you.
Mm-hmm.
You just have to have thick enough skin to be able to handle the no's, the rejections, the failing forward, the losing money, the making money, but the amount of collaboration to help you get there twice as quick was what was really special to me. I mean, in 4 years, I've sold more homes than some people ever sell.
Right.
And it wasn't because of my skill. It was because I worked harder than everybody else. And I was able to really lean on these other leaders in the industry that were willing to help me grow my business.
Right, absolutely. And they want everybody to win. You come in, you learn, you earn, and you return. And that's also a big part of the Icon Award is mentoring people, giving back, coaching, speaking at events. So obviously you've got high production, you've got a pretty big team over there. It looks like you've got your own brand that you've been building on. So you're a busy guy. So that being said, how do you take care of Phillip? How do you, in your head, make sure that you are not on burnout mode, that your work-life balance is where it should be to take care of yourself, your family, and be the best you for your clients?
So, I mean, I can be honest with you and real to you. Work-life balance is different for everybody. Is there a real work-life balance? Depends on who you ask. I'm just very time sensitive. Like I have a calendar and I stick to it.
Mm-hmm.
My workouts are in my calendar. When I eat's in my calendar. Every meeting's on my calendar. Spending time with my family's on my calendar. And if it's in my calendar, it happens. And if it's not, it doesn't. I have what you call white space in my calendar for spots for my agents to come in when they need help with things. But I mean, for me, I get up at 5 a.m.
Mm-hmm.
I work out, I journal, I podcast, I listen. I'm a big person when it comes to like self-help and education.
Yeah.
Like still to this day, I still watch podcasts. I watch videos on how to be a better listing agent. So that's my morning routine.
Mm-hmm.
And then I work out. I have a home gym and I have a personal trainer I go to, but I'm either working out at home or working out with him. And then I'm in the office by 8 a.m. Me personally, I'm in the office from 8 a.m. to about 7 p.m.
Okay. That's a long day.
5 days. I do it 5 days a week. It used to be 6 days a week. Now I've cut it back to 5 days a week.
Setting boundaries. Okay.
I don't answer my phone after 7 p.m. Unless it's my employees. And I've put people in between me. So I have like assistants. And you go to those people first before you come to me. Because I've recently learned if you give, people will always take. Yeah. And they'll take everything if you let them. So you have to set boundaries, and you have to also look at who's worth your time and who's not. And that's, a reality to it. You love on the people who love on you.
Yep.
Because there's only so much time in the day. I only personally sleep about 6 hours a night. 5.5, 6 hours is how much I sleep. And the rest of the time, I'm either learning how to be a better agent, a better coach, a better mentor, because I'm in the program as well. Or I'm selling real estate, working out, or spending time with my family. My one day off a week is Sunday. Sunday's the day I give to myself. And that's typically where me and my wife, we have 3 dogs. We go hang out. We do the things we love.
Yeah.
But, you have to have a strong spouse if you're trying to succeed high level things. And me and my wife agreed when I got into this business that I was going to really sacrifice for the next 10 years. So 10 years after that, I can live like most people can't.
Right.
So, that's some things and boundaries we put in place in our relationship, as well as, my employee relationships. Like, we use platforms like Slack to talk to each other during meetings so we can always be in touch with each other.
True.
And that's just kind of, like I said, how my day starts. I go 12, 13, 14-hour days typically. I'm recording videos. I'm doing podcasts. I'm reading books. I don't work with buyers. I only list at this point.
Mm-hmm.
I did get out of production briefly for about 6 months, realized I still like production.
Mm-hmm.
So I got back in it.
Okay.
That's just kind of how I do my days.
Yeah. Okay. So it looks like you have a good little balance, and you've really got, not tomorrow in mind, but your future in mind. You're visualizing this picture, and you're putting in the work now, like you said, to live like no one else later. And I love that. That's a great, what is it? That's a great mantra to have, waking up, get yourself at the office, make sure that you're not wasting time. And, it shows when you're coming up on your 3rd Icon Award. That's high production. It does take a lot of sacrifice, but it seems like you have some pretty healthy balances, at least.
Yep. I keep all my food. I have a little mini fridge over here, and I keep all my food in it. I don't waste time going out and eating. I eat at my desk because that's an hour I can't get back. Yep. So I eat while I work. Mm-hmm. I do take 1 coffee break a day, and I walk about 2 blocks to the coffee shop just to get fresh air.
Sure.
But I still have my headset in usually because I'm talking to somebody. But I try to stay really laser focused on what I'm doing when I'm doing it. Mm-hmm. So then when I do take off, I don't feel guilty for taking off.
Right. Because, a vacation, or maybe even like EXP Con, Shareholders Con,
mm-hmm.
where I would see somebody like you, although it's masterminds and, you're benefiting from it. And technically you're basically paid to be there when you're an icon, or it's paid for.
Which is amazing.
Yourself kind of kicking yourself I'm not mm-hmm. in the office. And I get that.
I've learned to enjoy those kind of moments though, because not everybody has that opportunity.
Right.
And when I was at at KW, you had to pay to go to those things. You paid for coaching. You paid for so many things, where at EXP is part of it. Mm-hmm. Like all the collaboration I get now for free, I'd be paying thousands of dollars a month elsewhere. Mm-hmm. And to me, that's priceless, because I am such a big education person, right? Like I fuel off those things. That's the things that really interest me. That's what's made me so successful.
Yeah.
I didn't want to try to reinvent the wheel. I just wanted to find a wheel that was rolling and just jump on it.
Yeah. And mentors and coaches that care about you and want to see you succeed, and, mm-hmm. Genuinely aren't holding, like you said, their secrets to their chest. They want to be able to share it with you and, really get you familiarized with their methods and tactics, which is awesome. And so speaking of that, you are an icon agent, you're a high producer. So what kind of production did you have to do to get to the icon status? And what does that award mean to you in your own words? What, what benefits has it brought you?
So, icon status, not everybody gets it. I mean, what you probably know the rankings better than I do. What's the percentage of people that actually hit icon status? It's very low.
Low. I don't know it off the top of my head. I don't want to throw out the wrong number.
I know it's very low. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Especially with the amount of agents, at EXP. I think we're at 68,000 now, maybe a little more. To me, it just I'm not an award trophy kind of guy. I have a lot of them, but to me, they're more about my team. my team and I made this. It wasn't me. It was a team effort. You're only as good as the weakest person on your team. It's a team effort. So to me, it's really nice to let them have them, show them, put them on their desk, use them as a paperweight if they want. Whatever they enjoy about them. To me, though, what's really cool about it is the stock option that you get when you hit that award, because, I'm 40 years old, and in real estate, and you don't get a 401 like if you worked at a big corporation. So to me, that's part of my retirement strategy. It's not my whole retirement, but it's a part of my retirement strategy that EXP gives me for doing my job that I was going to do anyways. So it's huge to me. I mean, every time I look at them, I say that 1 year closer to retirement for me.
Yeah, no, absolutely. And they continue to grow, and like you're rewarded some more every time you icon. So you've been, killing it. That's a great aspect. That's a great strategy to have for a retirement plan. And with that funds, I've heard people say, I'm going to use this money to buy investment properties for my kids, or I'm going to, it's a college fund, but a retirement fund, that's a new one. And I haven't heard of that yet. And that's smart.
I'll tell you a great thing I did with some of my stock last year. I bought my mother-in-law a new car. And I bought my mom a car. So I bought 2 cars for my moms.
I bet that felt so good, being able to give back to them.
Oh yeah, I'm such a giver, and I mean that's why I do what I do, to take care of everybody else. I'm a merchant by heart. Like, I really love helping people. And to me, if it wasn't for my mom, it wasn't for my wife's mom, I mean, we wouldn't be where we're at right now. So you give back. You love on the people who love on you. That's a big saying on mine.
Absolutely. And I love that. You should invest in the people. Otherwise, what good is it? What good is a team? What good is, mentors?
Girl, I could tell you. So when I was born, there wasn't much hope back then. I was born dyslexic, so I had dyslexia. Couldn't read. Grew up in a small town. They didn't really even know what it was. So that was something I had to overcome. First person in my family to go to a university, get a degree. Now I own a real estate company. I own a property management firm. I'm partnered in a flipping company. I'm partnered in a coaching company. I'm partnered in a media company. And I do it because I love giving back, right? And helping other people. So just to have those opportunities, but it all started back to my mother believing in me and my father believing in me. They always taught me you could do anything you want to do. And what I learned was I may not be the smartest person in the room. I might not be the most athletic person in the room. I might not be the best looking person in the room. But there's one thing you can't change is my work ethic. I will outwork you. I will outwork you every single time.
Phillip, what a cool story. I mean, you've really had to build up some mental toughness for this. You've really had to build up, the confidence in yourself that you can do it. You had to outwork others. And that's really a cool story. It didn't just come to you naturally. This is something that you've worked your butt off for, and, it's working, but you haven't settled for just a little success. You see the big picture of success, the kind of success that you can step back from and let it run itself, which is really cool.
And, the blessing is the mentorship. I can give back to people. Like, I have a lot of agents that work for me that are in their early 20s, and I'm a leader and mentor to them. I didn't have a role model like that. I had to find my own. Then I had to become my own until I got to EXP and really got a lot of good mentors. Like, I didn't. So now I'm helping people. I wish I had somebody like me when I was 20.
You're becoming the person that you needed.
Yes. And that's important to me, because if I can help somebody else not maybe go through some of the struggles I went through or make some of the mistakes I made when I started my real estate company, that's priceless, because save you a lot of heartache and headache.
Right. Absolutely. And it's kind of cool that you're not out there like, well, I had to go through it. Like, they should suffer too. You're out here and you want to teach them. You want them to learn from your mistakes. And it really speaks a lot about your character, Phillip. So that's really cool. Next question, you said you have a lot of young real estate agents on your team, early 20s. And maybe, even if some real estate agents aren't as young, maybe they're new to the real estate scene or the EXP scene in general. So that being said, is the Icon Award something that they should strive for within their first couple of years? Is that achievable for them? In just a few sentences, what would you have to say to young or newer EXP agents watching?
Yeah, I mean, always shot for the moon, right? I mean, in the stars. I mean, why not? If I can do it, anybody can do it. It just depends on if you're willing to sacrifice for it. Are you willing to work harder than most people? Are you willing to educate yourself? I mean, I look at it like this. Why wouldn't you? I mean, it's a few things. It's financial, positive to you. You're going to get stock option when you get this award. 2, you can tell other people you're an Icon agent, which will help you grow your business. I get referrals by being an Icon agent from other Icon agents, the collaboration with Icon agents. So I would say if you don't strive for it, you're selling yourself short.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely. And like that, why not? If you miss the production by one sale, that's still a high production, depending on your market. And even if
you always have next year.
Yeah. Oh, absolutely. And if you're that close, it should be easy for you next year. But make sure you're giving back to your EXP community. Get used to it now, so that next year you're not all confused about, oh man, I gotta go to EXP Con, I gotta do this, I have to coach. How do I even coach?
Why wouldn't you though? The biggest issue I've run into with people is they say they don't get what they need. I don't get what I need. I don't get the training I need. It's virtual. That's an excuse. You're making an excuse. It's so accessible. There's so many ways to communicate with EXP. There's so much knowledge base at EXP and so much you can learn by so many people that are so much more advanced than myself or anybody. I mean, why wouldn't you give yourself all the chances to be successful? To me, it's kind of like, the Harvard of real estate, right? Like you're going to the big leagues. So why wouldn't you put it in your calendar? I put education time in my calendar every day. And it says education. And that's where I'm podcasting, I'm journaling, I'm reading books, I'm talking to other people to better myself, better my career. Every day, strive to be a little better than you were the day before.
Absolutely. There's no such thing as perfection, but there's another level of excellence. There always will be.
Mm-hmm. I look at it like you're writing your own book. Mm-hmm. And how do you want your book to end? What do you want to be in your book? What's the chapters? There's so much. I never knew how successful you really could be till I started networking with some very successful people, that there's so much potential. And what you do with that success is up to you. I learned a long time ago, don't chase money, chase happiness.
Absolutely.
Absolutely.
So you said you listen to a lot of podcasts and books. So do you have any recommendations for that? I mean, other than the Icon podcast? Do you have any other recommendations that, you listen to or you've learned a lot from?
It kind of depends on, so I have some for real estate, obviously. You have like GSD Mode is one that a lot of people listen to. The Team Building podcast is a really good one. If you want mindset stuff, I love John Maxwell podcast. Okay. That's really good for leadership. Jay Shetty's really good for mental, spiritual stuff. Gary Chip's a really good one as well for like mindset, because you got to have a strong abundance mindset. You are what you believe you are. You are what you tell yourself you are. And everybody goes through funks. We're not perfect. We all have ups and downs in our life that can you catch quick and rebound from it. So it's all about just self-awareness.
Right.
So, that's the kind of stuff I listen to kind of get me hyped in the morning and get me focused. I do some mindset podcast. Then I do a little bit of like team building, because that's my focus right now, is building a productive team. And then I specialize in still listing podcasts, how to list better, because that's what I focus on.
Yeah. And it's okay to hone in on what you're good at and pinpoint your weak spots and, make sure that they're handed off to somebody that's a little better at them. If you're not good at marketing, find somebody that is. Invest in your company, invest in your brand, invest in yourself, do what you're good at and spend money to make money, because soon enough, don't reinvent the wheel. Just get everybody going where they feel good. They get what's going on, and, those gears will get to grinding. They really will.
Yeah, I mean, momentum's everything in any business, and the last thing you want to do is get frozen and don't move, right? Mm-hmm. So I think you're 100% right. I mean, whatever you don't like doing and whatever you're not good at, delegate. Now, I'm not saying don't get out of your comfort zone and learn how to do good at certain things. Like I work heavily with for sale by owners. I sell a ton of for sale by owner homes. But for a year, I folded. I was like, I'm not going to do that. There's no money in it. Last year, that was my number one source. I think we sold over 30 for sale by owner homes. I decided to focus and master on it. This year, I'm really focusing on door knocking. Never door knocked. I've always been a phone call warrior. So I was like, what?
What's your process for the door knocking then? Obviously some people are embarrassed, like not embarrassed, but nervous about it, So walk me through that process. What do you go through for that?
I'm extremely nervous about it, but I always go with something of value that I can provide them. And I door knock with my agents. And, I got my swag, my DeMuth Realty Group stuff. I door knock my neighborhood because it's a high selling neighborhood and I've sold more homes in there than anybody. And what I try to do is I door knock 100 homes 2 days in a row, because it's a big neighborhood. It's about 700 homes in it.
Do you skip the gym that day?
Nope, I still go. And I do that every Thursday from 2 to 5.
Okay.
It gets me out of the office. Because I feel like with the way limited inventory is right now, it's a nationwide issue. Everybody knows about it. But I feel like it's still it's a roadblock people are putting in their own head. Last month in our market, 683 homes listed. Okay, 683. You're telling me I can't get 10% of that market? I can't do 6 a month. 6 a month is a good living if you count the buy side business too. We do.
Yeah.
So if I can't get it from for sale by owners because there's not as many, I'm gonna have to get it from circle prospecting and door knocking. To me, I'm doing this for my agents. I have 14 that I have to take care of. I have an operations team. I have a transaction team. I have a mom, a dad that I help take care of. It's not about it's doing what I need to do to make sure they're taken care of.
Right.
So if I have to be embarrassed, if I have to get the door slammed in my face, so be it.
But guess what? Also, you're coming away with so many skills. Think about the body language you're going to be able to read after that. Somebody open to you, hearing them out. Being able to talk somebody off of a defensive ledge. Hey, I'm not here to rob your house. I'm just here to let you know who I am. I'm in your neighborhood. I know this neighborhood well. You want it to be sold. I look down the street. I'm the best guy. Just saw this house. There are a lot of skills that can be obtained from that. And, I think one of the best qualities about people is humility. Being able to, throw yourself out there in something you're uncomfortable in. Heck, maybe even embarrass yourself a little bit. But really, there's nothing to be embarrassed of. Those people are going to forget about you in a week. They're not going to remember the guy that came and knocked on their door unless they're getting ready to sell.
Exactly.
That guy that just knocked on their door.
And you know what you'd be surprised about? I think a lot of people don't give themselves enough credit. For one, in life, you got to fail forward, right?
Of course.
You learn making mistakes, right? That door knocking didn't go as well. So I'm going to try a little different on this door, and I'm going to try a little different on this door. But what I noticed when I started door knocking my neighborhood, people know who I am because we send out postcards, we send out videos, we send out a monthly market update, we send a monthly newsletter. So when I would knock on their door, I was so worried they were going to be mean, and they're like, "Hey, you're Phillip. We know who you are." And it was just hey, nice to put a name with a face. So
isn't that interesting to see your marketing tactics come to life?
And I think I think human instinct, sometimes we expect the worst. When it's not, when it could be a very uplifting conversation, or you may make a good friend out of it. Heck, maybe I'll lose 10 pounds from walking so much.
Honestly, and not skipping the gym that day. Okay, he's
not skipping the gym.
getting his steps
serious.
in.
Right, gotta get them. I track it on the watch and I track it on the ring. Can't make no
excuses. Checking off all the marks.
Checking them off.
I love that. No, that's a really cool tactic, and to not only get yourself out of your comfort zone, but to get up your network, your database of people, leads, so on and so forth. Taking care of your people. You gotta love the people that love on you. And so I guess my last question would be, you said you didn't start with EXP. So from those that are on the outside looking in, obviously there are some great things happening, like no 401k, no problem. I've got my retirement fund going. Like this, things are looking good for you if you use the tools you're given appropriately. Again, only, I think earlier, one of my guests said that essentially, not a lot of people, but more than we think ICON, but they can't make it to EXP Con and stuff like that. So really only 1% or so out of those that can make it really do. And so, it's a limited factor, and you have to use the resources that are given to you. But those that are on the outside looking in, they see the grass is greener. Okay. And they're like, they've seen the model. They're like, oh, that model looks good, but like, what's the catch? They're skeptical. They think it's a pyramid scheme. What would you have to say to somebody like that?
For one, everything in life is a pyramid scheme. Rule number one, if you work for a corporation, there's a man at the top and it goes down. Everything is that way. I mean, it's just all how you sell it. It's all how you represent it. But I mean, don't see it as a pyramid scheme. It's no different than any other agency, KW, Compass, any of the big ones. They all have the same kind of thing. At KW, it was profit sharing. EXP is rev share. Compass is this. You can find, my father told me a long time ago in life, if you look hard enough in life to find something wrong, you'll always find it. Sometimes you got to give things a choice. You got to give it an option. You got to try it out. You got to try and see what happens. No one's saying go to EXP and you got to be there the rest of your life. If you don't like it, leave. But most people don't, because of all the collaboration and learning. And if you can bring other people in and get paid a little bit by bringing them on, it's not like you're getting rich off one person.
Right.
It's not like that. It's just like, hey, if I can help you better your career quicker than I did mine, why wouldn't I? I mean, why don't, I think most realtors truly like helping people.
Yeah.
And we should like helping each other too. I mean, the best thing I ever did was realize a realtor is not my competition. My competition is me. You got to work with these realtors for a long time. So if we can educate them, make them more successful, make them happy, that's probably going to better everybody involved in the transaction.
Absolutely. And no, you're 100% right. And what do you have to lose by like just talking to an EXP agent? Most of them that I know, even if you don't want to come over to EXP, they'll still have coffee with you. They'll share a little knowledge with you. They want you to learn. They want you to be better. That's kind of the cool thing about EXP, is that everyone's on the same team. And
the way I got my rev share up was people saw my success, right? Other agents, and they would say, dude, you're crushing it. How'd you get there? And I would just forward them an invite to one of our mastermind meetings we have Mondays and say, just come to this and listen.
Yeah.
And then they would see the value. It's no different than selling real estate, right? You have to provide true value. Well, EXP, there's a lot of value you can add. It's all how you deliver it. Just like in sales. If you come off salesy and money hungry, people see through that. But if you truly come out saying, hey, man, if I can just give you one thing today to help your business, what would it be? That's just like when I go. It's the same way when I go list homes.
Mm-hmm.
Hey, if I could sell your home today, get you top dollar, what would that do for you?
Right. Absolutely. They might say, oh man, I need help with marketing. Well, EXP has 60 hours of marketing that you can put in a week to better yourself, build your own brand. There's, everybody thinks that there's so much to lose when changing brokerages, and sometimes there is, but EXP is just a little different. And the number one thing that I've heard is, I wish I had done it sooner.
Me too. I wished I'd have came a year before I came, like when I was first introduced from one of my friends, and I waited a year, and I wished I didn't, because I always think, man, where would I be in my career if I came 1 year sooner?
Yeah.
Because it really is a place where you can learn. You could sit here all day long and learn all day at EXP. There's so many videos, Facebook pages, groups, just so much collaboration.
Really?
I mean, how would you do it all?
I don't
How
know.
could you?
Have two of you?
Yeah. So, I mean, for me, I'm a real believer in mastering my craft, right? And I just don't see anywhere else you can learn it. I just don't. I mean, I've been at KW. I even tried a small boutique firm for like 4 or 5 months before I came to EXP. And sometimes the grass is greener. It just is. Because some people water their grass more, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
So,
and again, coming back to kind of the theme of today's episode, you love all the people that love on you, and that's what EXP does. They give back to the people that give to them, and you learn, you earn, and then you return here, which is really cool.
I love that saying. I love that saying, learn, earn, return. With me, I have 14 agents on my team now. I never put out one job post.
Wow.
They all came from word of mouth. They all saw me at some kind of podcast or some video I did or something I did, just providing value.
Yeah.
And they said, man, I'd love to learn from that guy. That didn't happen when I was at KW because those opportunities weren't there.
Right.
And it's nothing against KW. KW has a great program. But I think our market is shifting and pivoting, and the technology that EXP offers is just par none. I mean, I've never seen anything like it.
Right. No, EXP is great. There are people over here waiting to talk to you about it. If you guys want to get in touch with Phillip, I mean, there's social medias out there. We've got, the network is just endless, and we'll make sure that, we've got your contact to get connected with you. You're on Facebook, I assume, Instagram.
Facebook, Instagram, YouTube. I'm a little older, so I don't do the Snapchat and the TikTok, but I do the Facebook, Instagram, and YouTube, and LinkedIn. Pretty good there.
Well, make sure that you get connected with them. And if you want to do a virtual coffee, real live coffee, make sure to reach out. He's a busy guy, but there's always time to, give back to your peers and the people that are in the same field that you are, which is great.
Exactly.
Phillip, thank you so much for joining me today. That's really all the questions that I have.
Well, thank you for your time. I truly do appreciate it. It's an honor to be here, and thank you again for the opportunity.
Of course, and congrats on that third icon this year. Let's go, Phillip!
One more time.
We'll talk to you soon, okay?
Thank you.